Hello friends, this is the fifth unit of Information Theory, Coding Techniques and Computer Network subjects for third year ENTC. Fifth unit, name of the unit is Data Communication and Physical Layer. So contents of this unit are Data Communications Networks, then Network Models. One of the model is OSI model, then learn the layers in the OSI model. Then moving towards the TCP/IP protocol suite. What are the different addressing techniques in these models? And then we'll have the introduction to the guided and unguided transmission medias. Now objectives of this unit are, so it is expected that when we learn this unit, students should be able to understand the fundamental concepts of data communication and networking. Next objective to keep this unit is to understand the network requirements. If you are supposed to learn and design any network, then what are the basic requirements of that network design? What are the network models and protocols? Then again to study and apply what are the different addressing techniques in TCP/IP suite. Again, go in details with the transmission media, guided and unguided transmission media, describe advantages, disadvantages, and in order to analyze them, compare all the medias. Now, in this session, we'll be studying these contents. We'll start with introduction to the data communication, then moving towards the data communication system. What are the components of the data communication system? Then desired characteristics of any data communication. Then in the form of a data flow, how the data flows, so that we learn under the mode of transmissions. Then what are the different networks, types of networks based upon different criteria, how can we classify the networks, different types of connections, and physical topology and the types. So we'll start with data communication. So basically communication, need of the communication is in order to share the information, we need to have the communication. So sharing of information, briefly it is called as a communication. Now what this data is? So data can be in the form of a text data, numbers, image, maybe in the form of a audio data and the video data. So whenever it has to have the communication, data communication has to be there, then information presented should be in a form that is understood by both the parties, that is between sender and receiver. So sender and receiver, among them we share the information. So data which is to be communication should be in a form that is understood at both the ends. So it refers to the information presented in a form that is agreed upon. Here the particularly word is used as agreed. It has some meaning because indirectly it indicates the protocols necessary. Agreed upon by the parties creating and using the data. So data communication as a whole, we can say it is the exchange of data between the two devices via some form of a transmission media. So exchange of data occurs between the sender and receiver with the help of the transmission medium, which can be a wired media or it may be a wireless media. Now, when we design the data communication system, how our system can be more effective, which are the parameters that decides. So they depend, four fundamental characteristics of the data communication system are delivery, accuracy, timeliness and jitter. So shared information should be delivered to the correct destination with more accurate, information should be more accurate. Timeliness indicates it is to be delivered at the correct time. Delayed reception of information is of no use. And lastly, important parameter, maybe you are not familiar with this, it's a jitter. So jitter indicates, so what is expected here? Correct destination, data to be delivered to the correct destination with correct information within the deadline. And when you convey the message in the form of a different packets or small messages, that should be in a correct sequence. And that is called as a jitter. So jitter refers to the variation in the packet arrival time. So that is not desired if these are delayed packets are arrived at the receiver end. Then at the receiver it is not possible to extract the exact information. So pictorial representation of a basic data communication system. So data communication, it should have the 5 main elements. So sender has to be there, because there is one message which is to be shared between the sender and receiver. So message is one parameter, then sender, that will be sending the message, and receiver, intended destination is the receiver to whom the message is to be conveyed. So sender, message, receiver. So this will be transferred over a media. So medium is the 4th parameter. Now additional important parameter that is indicated just now, we have seen data, the form of a data in which message is conveyed should be agreed upon both the ends. It means protocol, set of protocols are there. So step 1, step 2, step 3. So the protocol is another 5th parameter which is very much important. Without protocols, the connectivity may be there, but communication may not be held. So protocol is nothing but set of rules which are designed for the designing of the networks. So this is a pictorial representation of basic data communication, where sender, receiver, medium through which the message is to be conveyed, and then the set of protocols that governs the transmission. So this is what we have seen just now, 5 main components of the data communication system in general: message, sender, receiver, transmission, medium, and protocol. So protocol is a set of rules that govern the data communications. So it indicates agreement between the communicating devices. So what will happen if there is no protocol? It's a simple example. Through a simple example here it's trying to explain. So without a protocol, 2 devices may be connected but not communicating. It is simple as if a person speaking English cannot be understood by a person who speaks only Marathi. So either English to be converted into Marathi or Marathi to be converted into the English, because both the persons knows either English or either Marathi. Message would be there, sender, receiver is there, media is also there, but there is no such understanding between both the ends. So it's of no use, and that's why both the persons, some conversation of the converter is necessary so as to convey the information. So my information should be conveyed in a language which is understood by both the persons. So without a protocol, both of them would be connected but not communicating. That is the significance of protocols. Now, when the data is to be conveyed between the 2 ends, so data flow can occur in different modes. So it is called as this can be studied under the modes of transmission. So it may be in a simplex form, half duplex and full duplex. You might have come across earlier also these terms when you studied the communication subjects. So simplex is the communication wherein at a time data can be transferred in one direction only. So direction of data is from one end to another end only. So this is simplex. So simple example of this simplex communication would be, suppose take example of a keyboard, wherein using the keyboard you can just enter the data. While a monitor is a device which can only display the output. There is no provision of giving input to the monitor. So these are the unidirectional. It's a one-way road. So or TV broadcasting, we can just receive the signals, broadcasted signals, we cannot send it back. So these are the example of a simplex data communication, modes of transmission. Half duplex, there can be communication from both the ends, but at a time only from one direction only. So example of a walkie-talkie. When one person sends the information, when the information conveyed is over, then he will say just over, and then it will stop conveying the information. So the next time, receiver to the, now this becomes the sender and this becomes the receiver. So half duplex is the communication wherein data can be transmitted in both the directions, but at a time only one direction. So next is the full duplex. So full duplex wherein in both the directions data can be transmitted and received simultaneously. Take the example of a simple telephone conversation, mobile communication. So at a time I can speak as well as I can listen. So I can just transmit the data as well as I can receive the data simultaneously. That is what the full duplex. This is already known to you, but as a part of this communication and what are the different modes of transmission, we'll just revise here. Now networks. What exactly network is? So we have seen modes of transmission, what are the requirements of the communication system. Network is also one of the communication system only. So a network is a set of devices, or it also, here in this case we can also call it as a nodes, which are connected by communication links, and they can communicate and share the resources. So network is a set of nodes which are connected with each other in different ways, and that are called as a communication links, so as to have the communication and share the resources. Now what are the nodes? So these are also called as a devices or the nodes. Specifically in the networks, we will be calling this as a nodes. The nodes can be a printer, PC, laptop. A node can be a computer, printer, or any other device capable of sending or receiving the data generated by other nodes on the network. That's it. So sharing of data is there within a network through the nodes in which the network is connected. So this is an example of a simple network. So this is a common shared line, and all these nodes are connected to this common line. So this is a one network with 4 nodes. Can there be a network with only 2 devices? Yes, possible. I can connect one printer, scanner, a single machine with the PC. So both of them also can be said to be in a network that share the data. Now what are the different types of networks? So depending upon one's perspective, we can classify networks in different way. There is no as such a single method using which we can classify the networks. So take the example of a based upon the what communication link is there, that is what is the transmission media. So wired and wireless transmission media can be there. So twisted pair cables, unshielded twisted pair cables. So wired media can be UTP, it can be the coaxial cables, it can be the fiber optic cables. So wireless media, it can be Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, Zigbee. So different wireless medias can be there. So based upon the transmission media, we can classify the networks as a wired and wireless networks. Next classification can be based upon the size of the network. So network size, it can be a LAN and WAN, but again can be the MAN. So based upon the area covered by the networks. Based on the management method. So how the communication is there between among the nodes. If it's a what are the management, it means what are the set of protocols, how the communication is being governed between the different nodes. Are they having the same set of rules, ownership? Accordingly, it can be a peer-to-peer network, or it may be a client-server model. Based on the topology and based upon the connectivity, how these nodes are connected geographically or physically, how the nodes are connected, based upon that the networks can be classified as a bus topology, star topology, ring topology, mesh topology, tree topology, or combination of any 2 or 3 topologies. Then it will become as a hybrid network. So again, when the connection held between the different nodes with a network, then the connection can be point-to-point communication, or it can be multi-point communication. So when there is a dedicated link between the 2 devices, then it is called as a point-to-point communication, wherein entire capacity of the channel is reserved for transmission between the 2 devices. Take an example, when you using the remote control change the channel of the TV, then there is a point-to-point communication held between remote control and the television's control system set-top box. Multi-point communication, when more than 2 specific devices share a single link capacity of the channel, either spatially or temporally. So spatially is wherein at the same time you are sharing the resources or the channel, then it will be spatial. Temporally is in the terms of the time shared manner. So multi-point connection can be there, point-to-point connection can be there. So this is a pictorial representation where it shows the dedicated link between the communication between the 2 devices, and this is the communication that is either it can be temporal or the spatial, wherein this mainframe is connected to the different nodes and all of them are sharing the same link at a time, or maybe in the terms of the time slots. That is what the multi-point connection is. So in the next session, we'll go with the topologies of the networks.